Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Journey Podcast. I have a client here, Jaeda, who has been a student in PTBI for the last few months, and she has been, seeing really, really tremendous, not only results, but also growth in herself as a coach and as a leader. I can't even express like the dramatic change that she's seen in the last few months. When she first joined, she was nervous to hop on the coaching calls. She was so nervous about taking her first sales call. She's like, do I really have to be on Zoom to like be on a sales call? I'm like, yes, you have to be on Zoom. She's like, I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I just want to do it over the DMs. I'm like, no, you have to take the call. And now she's living her best life. She's been out here in San Diego for the last few months. She's completely full-time with her business, and she's inspired so many people and helped so many people. And I can also just tell by the way she talks and carries herself now, she has fully adopted her own entrepreneur spirit. She went from being scared and timid to getting started to like being like the most boss savage business owner possible. And now I can guarantee you that she will never go back to who she was before. Hell yeah. So Jaeda, I would love for you to introduce yourself and start with, your story about where you started.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Jaeda. First off, I want to say that I cannot believe I'm in this position to be speaking about my experience like this. It's like, it happened so fast. It has been 5 months, 5.5 months now, and here I am getting interviewed on my success story. I just began. I have so much to go, so much to learn, so much to implement in my business. But the fact that I got here and that I'm at this point in my life where I can literally make a living for myself, I can live wherever the fuck I want, I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's just beautiful. And I'm helping so many amazing, beautiful women that are attracted to my energy and who I am, because I no longer have that mentality of, oh, I have to do what everyone else is doing. Oh, I have to appear a certain way on Instagram. Oh, I have to act a certain way. I am completely authentic and myself and my own boss. And it attracts the most amazing women. I just couldn't imagine a life like this before working with Zach. So quick rundown, started as a personal trainer, in-person trainer. Let me tell you this, insecure as fuck. Like, I started personal training about 2 years ago in person, and I worked at a gym, and I don't want to talk bad about that gym. Awesome gym, great vibes. The owners are awesome, but it was not my thing, honestly. I was insecure because I was looking at the trainers around me, and I thought they had so much more to offer than I did. Why? Because I wasn't sure of myself. Things like, the trainers like teaching classes, right? They're like being so energetic and they're dancing and they're doing their thing. They're being themselves, right? That's not really me. Like, yes, I will dance at a fucking music festival. I love that shit. But to be in front of a group of people and teaching fitness, I'm more of like, guys, like, let's make sure you have excellent form. Like, let's, have fun. Like, my music is bomb. Like, dance to my music. But it's like one of those things where I thought I wasn't good enough. But that wasn't the case. I'm good enough, but in my own way, right? So online coaching and starting my own business, like, really allowed me to fully embody who I really am. Trying not to cry, I'm super emotional, but it really allowed me to embody who I am, right? And I didn't know what to do before working with Zach. So I would literally sit here and dream, right? It was this one big dream of mine. I want to be an online coach. I would be like, this would be my life. I would see other people doing it, and I'm here with nothing, right? I'm here with nothing because I don't know where to start. I don't know what the correct steps are to take. So I didn't even know about mentors. I didn't know that there was a coach out there that could literally take me from zero to up here, right? I didn't know that. So Zach came through and he slid into my DMs. Thank you, God, because without him, I would be lost still. I would literally be slaving to, I used to just do the most pointless things, right? Building a website was one of the first things he said, like, you don't really need that to start, right? I spent so long building my stupid website that got me nowhere. I mean, at least I tried, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't do anything for you. There's very specific steps, and there's like actions that you need to take immediately to get your business started. And you will not find that shit on Google. You will not find that shit in your university Like, you won't find it anywhere. You need to invest in a coach that is literally, first off, genuine as fuck, because Zach is just genuine. He's my friend now. Like, I fucking love him. And it's just like, at first I was like, who is this man? Like, I mean, it looks like he can help me with my business, but who is he? Like, obviously we're all skeptical. We don't know who we're dealing with. As soon as I talked to him, had the first conversation with him, signed up with him, he sent me a video of himself and like kind of like was like, hey, what's up? Like, welcome. If you need anything, felt the good vibes right away. And from that day on, he has supported the fuck out of me. And I would literally not be where I am if it wasn't for him. I hope that's a good story. I mean, I tried to make it as quick as possible. But
no, that's beautiful. So something that's very unique about you that I have been able to witness is like you have two voices inside of your head and they're constantly battling with each other. Now,
oh, yeah.
when you first started, one was significantly more louder than the other, right? You had one voice that was like, I don't know if I can do this. I have all these insecurities. I have all these limiting beliefs. I'm scared to put myself out there, but you did it anyway, right? So how did you get over that? Like, what did you tell yourself? Like, why didn't you let those voices keep you down?
Okay. Oh, I love this question. It's really getting my mind to think. Okay, so I guess it starts with the inspiration, right? So I joined this community, right, of all these coaches. You know, PTBI is a community. You will meet other coaches and you will interact with them, right? They were super supportive from the get. I followed them. I saw them doing the damn thing. You know, I wasn't really talking on my stories like that. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, so I didn't have anything. I'm literally seeing these people do it, and I'm hearing Zach say that he felt uncomfortable in the beginning. Right? He said, talking on your stories is going to be a little weird at first. It's not going to feel comfortable. You know, I used to like make mistakes all the time, and then you kind of just get used to it. So I think the fact that Zach, you're so genuine and that I trust you so much, like you tell me things and I just trust it. I trust that one day it's going to feel natural and that with enough repetition, I'm going to just, you know, be able to do these things without any thought, like, you know, that voice in my head that we're talking about could just literally shut the fuck up, because it isn't doing nothing but holding you down and like allowing you to stay comfortable. And when you're comfortable, there's literally no growth. There's no growth. So I think just trusting you, and honestly, talking on my story has become so easy. Like, I listened to you, I trusted you, and I'm just like, yo, what's up? Like, before it was like this big thing. Like, I'd be like, okay, I have to talk my story. I have to get ready. I have to fix my hair. I have to set my ring light up, even though I do that sometimes still. I love my ring light, but whatever. Like, it was just such a big production. And now I'm like, I just feel like I see, and also, you know, Zach's friends, Zach's girlfriend, Kendall, all these people who have been doing it for so long, I look at them and I see them showing up every single day. I see how successful they are in their own businesses, how inspirational they are. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm going to follow their steps, right? You guys literally motivate me so much. And I just feel like your genuine energy and your dedication to this really, really, really keeps me going. I'm following the steps of very successful people. I don't know if you guys know this, but Zach is very successful and he continues to work hard. And these are people I'm surrounding myself with. So how could I not be successful, right?
I love it. I love it. You have a why not me mentality, which is really great.
Yes.
A lot of people, you know, they will let their insecurities, when they see successful people, they're like, oh, like they already have it, so like I can't have that because they're already doing it. Like, but you see successful people and you're like, why can't I have that? Like, you have that why not me mentality, which is awesome.
Yeah, and I wasn't always like that. So when I, you know, made that switch, everything changes. Like, just because they have it doesn't mean you cannot have it. And that's like the number one thing you have to realize, or else you're just going to stay in the same spot because you're telling yourself, I can't do that. So how the fuck are you going to do it if you're telling yourself you can't do it?
Yeah. So what was the transition like going from, you know, working as a personal trainer to working completely for yourself? Was it scary at all? Were you nervous? Like, and how does it feel now?
Okay, so it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I hired a coach, so I'm going to get my business started, right? It's like, oh, this is exciting. You get like really, really happy and you're a little nervous. You start diving into the content and the nervousness grows, right? Because you're literally getting introduced to these new things like, oh, you're going to have to go on a sales call. You're going to have to go on Zoom, like we talked about before. You're going to have to get on there and show your face. You're going to have to learn how to speak to people. You're going to have to learn how to use the right tonalities. You're going to have to read new books. There's so many things that you have to do. So it gets overwhelming. But if you just stay relaxed and you trust yourself and you believe in yourself, like all of these skills that you're going to be learning that are making you anxious initially will literally take you from 0 to 100. I keep saying 0 to 100 because that's what happens. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Did I answer the question? I got a little sidetracked.
No, absolutely.
Oh, how is my life changed?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, working in a gym was pretty miserable for me. If the owners are watching this, I'm sorry, but like honestly, like I felt like below everyone else. I didn't have as many clients as other people. Because I just felt like, I don't know, I feel like since I wasn't in it 100%, they noticed that. So they didn't really try to help me with leads or anything. It was just one of those things where it was just like, okay, Jaeda's the girl that takes a lot of Instagram booty pictures and will probably make us look good. Honestly, like that's literally what I thought they thought of me. Whatever. And that's not fulfilling. Like I know deep down inside, I have the ability to help so many women in my own way, right? Like I don't have to work for someone. I don't have to freaking slave all day at a gym. In-person training, no offense to anyone, it is so stupid. I'm so sorry. I fucking hate it so much. Like, why the hell would you slave all day for hours? And you're literally making half the money. Like the gym is taking the money, the gym is controlling you. Like you're literally like this little freaking like, oh, it's just like a follower. You're not really like doing your own thing. Now that I have my own business, I feel so confident. Like I could literally get on my story and talk to the people who I want to target. I can market the way I want to. I wake up happy because I know that I'm running my own business. I'm staying in San Diego. I literally picked up and left, like came here, still running my business. Am I missing out on work? Absolutely not. My business is growing while being here. Like you could literally do whatever the fuck you want and you can make so much money and help so many people that kind of like align with you, right? Because with the gym, like you get like random ass people. And it's like I was training this 83-year-old. She died, rest in peace. But like I was training her for like a fucking year and a half and it did not feel aligned to me. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, you know, like I'm like, why do I have this client? I have an ideal client now, right? So I target that client and I get those clients through my content and it feels so aligned. I feel at peace.
That's amazing. That's really, really incredible. Now you mentioned something like obviously the way you're talking about your business, I can see you're extremely passionate about what you do and you're fulfilled and you're making good money too, right? And there's this belief with 20-year-olds thinking that you can't make a lot of money and then actually enjoy what you're doing at the same time. So like, what do you say about that now? Like, cause you're happier now and you're probably making a lot more money than you were before. So like, what would you say to people who said like, oh, you can't do that?
Yeah, so that's bullshit. That's what society is going to tell you, and that's what your parents are going to tell you. So with this program, a lot of people that are in it have unsupportive parents, right? They're like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you going to do that? Why would you start your own business? You can learn how to do that by yourself. Or no, you should go to corporate. You should go to college. Like all that noise in your ears, like literally ignore it because it's all bullshit. You have to trust like the people who are doing it right now. They're telling you this is the way to go. This is the wave. Like you got to listen to that because I mean, it's just like the amount, like I like tripled, quadrupled my income, like doing something that I like to do. Like I make my own rules. I help women. I have cool ass conversations with them. I'm doing cool shit. And I'm literally like making a living. Like you can do that too. You can literally do that. Stop like those limiting beliefs in your head need to stop because it's possible. It's possible to make a lot of money and have a fucking good time at the same time. Like,
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I know you were thinking about getting started with business on your own. You try to get into the online space. And even when I DM'd you originally, you had a couple clients here and there. Mm-hmm. What was your perception of how business was supposed to be run? And what is it now that you're running your own business and you see all the moving bits and pieces? Do you think that you were able to figure it out on your own beforehand? And how did you think it worked before actually understanding how a business worked?
So I thought honestly, I think I was like one of those people that would only post about myself, and like I didn't really know how to attract clients. I didn't know how to provide value for people on Instagram. So I would literally take like a picture of myself, and I would say like, oh, like leg day, and that's it. Like no value was being given to people. And I'm literally just like waiting, like, I hope people work with me. Like, hopefully one day I'll be successful. And like nobody was really, and it's obviously this is a little embarrassing to talk about, but fuck it, because I'm not at that place anymore. Like if I can help someone, I will talk about my embarrassing stories. But from the outside, people probably thought I was successful, but I honestly I really wasn't. I was just like waiting for people to show up to my doorstep without really providing the value that I needed to provide. Marketing didn't do that shit at all. What was marketing? When I first watched the intro video to Zach's program, he talked about marketing, and it like my heart was like, I'm like, marketing sounds scary. Well, what's marketing? Sales. What's sales? Like it freaks me out. I didn't know that those things were literally essential to starting a successful business. And I didn't know that they weren't that bad. Like it's not that bad. Like sales is really fun. Like at some point, like you really like learn a lot of valuable lessons, and then eventually you'll be able to outsource that shit, so you don't even have to do it. So getting that experience at first, and then being able to have someone else do it for you, I think that's absolutely incredible. And people just honestly are not gonna show up at your freaking doorstep if you post a selfie of yourself and a workout video here and there. You actually have to provide real value. You have to show the fuck up for your people. And I was not showing up for so long. Like that's something that Zach really, really, really taught me. And knowing that, he watches, like he's watching over everyone and stuff, like it really pushes me. Because I'm like, I know I have that accountability. Like Zach's probably gonna be like, what the hell? Jaeda hasn't showed up on her story in like a week. What the fuck is going on with her? Knowing that really just helps me. And I hope that answers the question.
No, absolutely. It totally does. I'm trying to think if I have any other questions, because I know I had a couple other questions that I wanted to ask as well. I guess my question is, for anybody who's on the outside that's a little bit nervous about getting started, what piece of advice would you have for them?
Okay, this is a great question. So if you're nervous to get started, I would say honestly to silence those nervous thoughts, because they're just going to hold you back. They're going to hold you back, and time flies by so fast. Like it's crazy when you actually do begin this program, because you obviously are. Why wouldn't you? You're going to, the first kind of thought you're going to have is, damn, I should have started this a long time ago. I wish I was deeper into it. You're not supposed to do this, but you will naturally compare yourself to where other people are, right? This person's making 10K a month. Fuck, I want to do that. Well, you will get there the sooner you start, right? It's like literally the sooner you start. I'm 26. Everyone's younger than me in this program. And I'm like, shout out to everyone that's young and doing this, because I am so inspired by that. I was too insecure when I was 23, 22, 19, 18. I was scared. I was waiting for the perfect time. Fuck that. Literally go for it now. Do not waste your time on this fucking precious earth. We get to make our own lives. We get to paint the story of our beautiful freaking lives. So why not just start now?
Yeah.
Start now.
I think that highlights a good point, and it kind of reminds me of what I was gonna say beforehand. Is like the biggest difference between Jaeda in January and Jaeda now is like Jaeda in January was waiting for things to come to you, and now you're going after it. Right.
Yes.
Which is like that's the biggest difference between, what people see in this program is like waiting versus going after it.
Yeah. You're so inspired to go after it. You're learning these lessons, and you know that you need to implement these things in order to be successful. And it's just like, it almost seems impossible to not implement them. It almost seems like, why the fuck would I wait to do this? Like, I paid for this program. This person is telling me that this is what I need to do to be successful. It just doesn't make sense to wait. Like it doesn't. So it just like really lights fire under your ass, and you're just gonna be fucking so great at what you do. It's gonna be hard at first. You're gonna make mistakes, but like it's such a beautiful process. I would not want to be stressing. I stress a lot, but I would not want to be stressing for anyone else's business. I'd rather just take the stress, take the hard times and the beautiful times, and realize that it's worth it, because it's something I built.
Dude, so that brings up a really good point that you brought up the other day. You said you know, you have hard times, you get stressed out, but you're so much happier stressing for yourself and your own vision than you would be for someone else's. Can you tell me about that moment you sent that message and like what was going through your head and what the message even said too?
Oh yeah. Okay, so I was going through like I had a couple like bad calls or whatever, like, just leads that aren't like best for me, right? I'm just like, oh, okay, this is annoying. And naturally, when we're in this business, we're thinking about growing our business, but we have to remember like we want the right people too, right? So these hard things, like they seem so like difficult, but in reality, they're just meant to happen. Like we're supposed to go through these hard times. So what I was saying, I feel like I'm getting off track.
We were talking about the message that you sent me about, yeah.
Okay, so basically, okay, can you repeat that again? I'm so sorry.
So the other day you sent me that message where you were talking about how you would much rather stress out for your business than stress out for someone else, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, it's one of those things where I've always been like a stressed person. I'm very anxious. I stress a lot. And when we when we mix work into the mix and with an anxious, stressed person, the amount of stressing that I've done for other people with work is insane. Like I was in the restaurant industry, bartending industry, personal training. I literally cried at work all the time. Like in the restaurant industry, like trying to make sure that people are happy and that like I'm not letting my bosses down. Like I'm literally crying for a restaurant. Like that doesn't make sense. That's too much precious energy that I'm wasting, right? Whereas if I cry for my business, it's like one of those things where it's like a beautiful thing. I literally cry all the time, like to my boy. Like it's not horrible. It's just like sometimes you're gonna go through these like waves of insecurity or waves of like, well, why didn't this work out? Or waves of like, oh, a client is leaving me. I don't want them to leave me. And then you start, overthinking, right? But crying for things like this is so different than crying for a fucking random ass boss that doesn't mean shit, honestly. It's just a beautiful thing because it's something that you built and that it's worth crying over.
I
It's
love it.
just worth it. It's like the best stress you'll ever feel in your life. I was telling my friend who just joined PTBI, like, Kat, like literally, like this, it's gonna be stressful, but it's gonna be the best stress that you will ever feel in your life because it is worth it. It's worth it.
I love it. That's a motto for life is don't try to stop crying, but try to find something worth crying over.
Exactly.
I love
I
it.
think that was a beautiful realization that I made, and I texted Zach and kind of just like told him that.
No, it's beautiful. Like you said, it's beautiful. I have one more question for you now. So when you look in the mirror and you look at Jaeda, who do you see?
Oh my God. Honestly, like I see this confident, strong boss, like a boss ass bitch that literally like has so much potential to grow. Like I know how much I've grown already, but I look at myself and I'm like, holy shit, like you just began. Like imagine how much you're gonna grow in the next few years. And it's like almost like this like endless potential that I see. I just see so much potential. I just I look at myself and I'm like, yo, like you started from like this low ass point and here you are now. And I know a lot of people feel as insecure as I did when I first started. I know that for a fact. So that's why I really want to speak to those people right now. And I want to say, like, that's not a permanent state. If you don't allow it to be a permanent state, it will not be a permanent state. You will look at yourself in the mirror one day and you will fucking see your potential and you will be inspired by your own self. Because I was always inspired by other people, still am because you need that. But imagine how it's going to feel to literally look at yourself and be inspired by you. Best feeling, hands down.
That's incredible. Any final words for the people who are watching?
Final words: don't waste your time. Fucking join. You're not gonna regret it. I'm all about like good people, like and genuine vibes, and like people that don't just want your money. Zach legit cares about you. Like he is the best. Like I'm like, how did I get so lucky to have him come across my page? You know, I was a cold ass lead. Like, we don't know each other. I'm from Jersey. He's from San Diego. Here we are now. We're fucking friends, and he helped me build a business. Don't waste your time, and don't fall for those people that have like 1 million followers and that they just like they're very like cookie cutter. Like they're no. This is it. This is it. This is fucking it. Do it.
Jaeda,
Do it. That's all I would say.
thank you so much. Where can the people follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at Jaeda Chantel, JaedaChantelle.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.